So this month, and we're going to kind of depart from the unpacking each essential understanding and go over a program called Unreserved that we're going to try and run this spring at the high school. So that's kind of the plan for this week. I'm going to send around a list if you can write down your email if you're interested in getting all of the packets and stuff for it, if you want to learn more information. It's like 34 pages long, so there's a lot of stuff that you can go through. So I'll see if my bit of technology works. So Unreserved was created by a teacher over in Hardin. She created it last year. She was a second-year teacher at the time, bringing together students from Hardin, Lewistown, and Browning. She student taught up in Browning, went to school in Lewistown, and then was teaching in Hardin, so she had those connections to be able to do it. So I'm going to start us off with a little video that they created outlining last year's program. Or not.
I am from evocative cultures.
I am from the Blackfeet people. I am also called Ungodly Beginning. I come from strong indigenous people.
I am from the Crow Reservation from Browning Crow Agency, Montana. I am part of something bigger than myself.
I am the elk trees admire. Stand tall, almighty elk, for all the world to see. Your strength and undying beauty forever amazes me.
I am from our stolen sisters that were taken away too soon to the families that they left behind.
I am from opposing sides that always love too much, painting the sky in 1,000 different colors and breaking the boundaries of an unforgiving world.
I am from the Ungodly Beginning, Southern Again. I am from between the mountains and the rolling hills.
Everybody here should have a photo. If you didn't, don't have a panic attack. Talk about something relative to that pain. We're fine. Everybody's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a great day.
The pictures that I have are of my grandmother and one of her friends riding their bikes selling bread.
Where, here?
No, in France.
Look at that picture. That is something like straight out of like a movie, right?
My heritage is my uncles and also my great-grandfather were all beaver bundle holders. And I hope to strive to be like them.
I get crap because I have like a foster family. They like really love and support and everything. I just love them so much. And they brought so much happiness.
I go to the hospital every 2 weeks and I get injections in my stomach. So I'm in the hospital a lot. I was kind of left out a lot when sports stuff came around, so.
I've broken my collarbone, so I don't see that.
That's serious. Look at that.
Seeing a lot of my relatives and close family members on meth and pills and, being drug alcoholics. And it's just hard to see those things, but, you can't let it really get you down because that's their choice that they made. But it's just sad. That's my hurdle. It's just sad to see them happen that way, for their good lives to turn out bad. They invite a lot of my younger siblings and cousins and stuff to our beaver bundle ceremonies and stuff, so they can be a part of that, and so they don't have to rely on a life of drugs and alcohol to help them, or to subdue any pain that comes through or hardship.
The hurdle I chose was missing and murdered indigenous women. I actually have a relative missing, actually heavy on her, and it's been almost 2 years ago. It's pretty hard.
There's so many people that are missing, and I just feel like there needs to be more attention brought to it.
And I just want to show people that it is hard sometimes being a different race, and there's people out there that think that we're not fit for anything. This is my half-brother. I've never met him. He lives in Mexico, and he can't get up here. And a lot of people I found out don't know that it costs thousands of dollars to just get that citizenship or get a visa to get up here. And yeah, it's hard sometimes.
It can be tough to talk about those things, but sometimes talking about it means that we learn that other people are similar hurdles. So it can be comforting in that way.
She's younger.
Let's end on hope.
Okay, so then I guess we're up to
I really just hope to be happy. Like, I don't want anything else for myself or for anybody else but to be happy.
Major in agriculture, graduated.
This picture at church camp this summer, and it's great because then I'm surrounded by a bunch of other Catholic youth.
Go to college and graduate from it.
No more abuse on the reservation. No matter what, the power lies in the youth. And so that requires a kind of fearlessness.
I'm running for Miss Blackley. It's something I hope for to become.
Like, I want to get out there and tell, how should I say, like, our story, you know?
My Cheyenne Indian name is White Buffalo Woman, and it kind of represents being different and unique. And a lot of times on the reservation, people kind of fall down and they never get back up. And I kind of wanted to be different and do something with my life and with my family and help everybody kind of lift up and be different.
Thank you all again for sharing all this. That can be intimidating, but you guys owned it and you did great, so. And I feel honored that I got to hear all that.
Thank you all, your beautiful faces, for being here today and for sharing parts of your guys' journey. I know it's not easy, especially where you guys are in your lives, right? When you guys are asked to speak with a group of strangers on what your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your failures are. We're all striving to kind of find that spot of authenticity.
I think the most important thing is just to make sure you have something that's driving, a passion that makes you want to move forward. And I don't think you have to know where you're going. I haven't figured it out.
I'm going to be honest, in high school, I had no idea. I just was worried about, do I have a place to sleep for the next couple of weeks? You know, I still didn't even know 5 years ago what I wanted to do, and I think I'm finally coming to terms with that's okay.
More than figure out what your future looks like, practice being successful. If you don't think math is your thing, but you sit in math class and you focus and you try hard, then when your thing comes along, you're going to be good at focusing and you're going to be good at trying hard.
My parents were raised on the reservation, and they were the first ones to go to school for their family.
I think that there's as many pathways and journeys as there are people in the room.
Just walking around your tables today. And I love Letitia. I can only remember her last name because it's on her poster. She's got "not afraid" just like in bold stencil, like graffiti, just over the top of that beautiful cursive "not afraid." It's not afraid. I mean, she's coming in and she's going to tackle whatever comes her way.
Being inspired by seeing what you guys are working on today, I'd encourage you guys to go be a mentor to somebody. Because I guarantee you, as the second oldest of 5 brothers, and as having countless nieces and nephews and cousins and all these relatives that I found looking up to me that I had no idea how I shaped or influenced, someone is watching you.
Please, give me a huge, huge round of applause for Superman.
I mean, not little brothers, little sisters, little cousins, nephews, nieces, right? Check this out, these little ones, these younger ones, they're watching you. And they're doing what you do. When you walk, the way you talk, so. How you talk to elders, you show respect, they show respect.
All right, so the mission statement for the Unreserved program is, Unreserved is an empowerment project that unites diverse learners and their communities through talk circles, the arts, Indian education, and courage to create a positive social and emotional experience as participants explore their lives by looking closely at 4 themes: heritage, hurdles, happiness, and hope. Unreserved inspires to uplift, understand, unpack, unite, and see each life as unordinary. I don't know if you guys were able to hear it. The speaker was kind of not as good as I thought it would be. But throughout the talk circles, they were going over those 4 main points. And if you guys want to watch it again so you can actually hear what's going on, we can send it out to the video too. But we're planning on doing this in April, hopefully with other schools. If not, it'll be a great thing for the school, the kids here in Baker to do. So the committee is bringing in Superman. So Superman will be for the Baker students K-12. And then we will have student ambassadors from Baker for sure, but hopefully from either Lane Deer or Wolf Point. And they will have their own separate lunch. They'll reconvene in the gym, I think, for a teacher panel where we'll have 1 to 2 teachers from each school answer questions in a panel. And then from 1 to 2, they'll get to know each other and have those talk circles that the video showed, where after they'll work on that art project. Students will then have that gallery walk to see everyone else's projects, and then hopefully by 4 to 4:30, the ambassadors will be there for the day.
Can I say a little side thing?
Yeah.
We just came up with this schedule like last week, just like 5 of us, so we haven't even shown it to administration yet. So if you guys have comments on that proposed schedule, let us know. It's a draft, so.
Yeah.
And it starts late because we would be bringing in hopefully another school. That's why we would start that late, but we might have to figure out lunch and stuff, so.
Subject to change.
Yeah, so we can talk later. Okay, sorry.
Thanks. So the talk circles center around those 4 main H words, so heritage, hurdle, happiness, and hope. And I'll go into what each one wants, what they want to get out of it in a little bit. So the first one is heritage. So the question they're pondering is, what part of history, so the country's history, nation's history, your family's history, has influenced the person you are today? Are there any traditions, celebrations, or values that you could show or represent? Is or was there a particular person who has shaped who you are? So in their talk circle, they would, with a teacher facilitator, go around and share the picture or hand-drawn photo that they have brought to kind of illustrate heritage. I had planned on putting pictures on mine to kind of get the ball rolling, but I didn't. But a part of my family's history that has shaped who I am today is that I come from a family of teachers, the 4th generation in Montana teaching. So that's part of what makes me me. The next one they would focus on is a hurdle. So what is a hurt or hurdle that you are facing or have faced and would be willing to discuss with your group? What is something you have faced or overcome to be stronger or more resilient, a more resilient version of yourself today? That one is probably pretty difficult for a lot of people. So that one, Danny was saying that she was prepared for people to not respond, but people were very open with sharing. So a hurdle for me is my dad is a recovering alcoholic. And has been for 4 years now. Got really bad when I was a freshman in college, and now he's doing a lot better now. So that is something that our family has had to deal with, and we're stronger for it. Happiness. What is something or someone who, brings a lot of joy in your life? What is your bliss? What do you find yourself doing that makes you lose track of time or makes you excited to be alive? We all have those specific things that make us excited to be alive. So that might be music. For me, it's downhill skiing. So those happy moments are another important thing to share. And the last one is hope. What do you hope to do with your life? What ways do you hope to positively contribute to society? What issues do you hope to solve? How do you want to spend your days? So in a room full of teachers, I'm sure everyone probably hoped to teach growing up. If not, that's all right. But that's something that I've always wanted to do, is be a teacher. So they spend that hour in their group talking about these 4 H's, and it culminates into an art project that is inspired by a medicine wheel. So we have some examples there. Oops, my laser pointer's not working. So there's, in a hurdle section, drugs, and then there's another hurdle, speaking out, heritage. Since these were schools from native schools, there was a lot of their native heritage was prevalent there. And like I said earlier, the photographs they use for this project can be either printed or drawn. So there's some more examples. One person's hurdle section is just herself. And for those of you that are getting the packets printed out, there's more examples that are in the packets. So, what we're going to be doing for the rest of PLC, there are 4 leaders who have so graciously volunteered to prepare a circle, and they're going to lead you through a sample discussion of this. So they have supporting questions for each theme. For each theme, you may discuss both personal connections as well as what you think students might get out of it. So if you're not comfortable sharing a hurdle of your own, that's fine. But if you can relate it back to what a student would learn and grow out of it, that's also great. So I have Mr. Sumis, Melissa, Mrs. Ross, and Mrs. Beach. So if you could split up evenly.
Should we like go sit somewhere and then people can join us? I'll sit here.
Be a problem solver. Sorry.
You guys.
I'm not moving. I'm at my table.
I don't think I need to move necessarily.
Or should we move so that we're not so close to them?
Where can I go?
Like when you're like, what's like, oh no.
Well, we can just go with Mrs. Ross. If we to you. We can have other people join here too.
Okay, guilty. I got the nicest message of this weekend. Oh, yeah. Just got back from Spain.
Do you want to do that? I don't know how the battery will be. I'm gonna send it to Danny too. Like I'll give her the link so she can watch it.
This is Jenny from the block. Walker beware. Tape there clearly.
And my great grandma, but and then we can go to this one, and I'm going to try to ask these questions. And so facilitation guides, so I'm practicing what I do about studies. The more I realize. So my first one is heritage, and this one we're supposed to talk about like countries, history, nations, families, how it influenced me, and an important person. So I put a whole bunch of pictures on my This is my family from Colombia, and my dad was in the for hurdle, and I feel like that would be and he met my mom, who's not in the picture.
So because I feel like a lot of honors come across with their
so that's a we're in Colombia celebrating a year or something because I think there's an alcoholic beverage.
Would be easier if we weren't.
So I think that's what we're doing. So we've been there a lot, and a lot of that has impacted what into how I look at the world. And then the rest of it was when we went to Wyoming to this is my house. So my parents drove up. It was like a big deal in my family. My parents drove up, got passing and nothing, and
absolutely music and especially worship music, like worshiping.
So those are my dad's like the one thing. My daughter and my daughter's my parents, and my dad brought his fancy telescope, looking at the sunlight, probes, collecting data, and so I think that day really represented like how I was raised, and that my parents were really intentional about building happiness and really cool
And so.
growing experiences and like growing together as a family and learning together.
The tree.
And
I
the most
kind of
impactful
started
person
with,
would be my dad.
because
You guys are just
generations from family, homesteaders, whatever.
I'm not gonna walk around with her.
So that tree,
Right, and then I have this little
also,
sticky note because
I
I
thought
didn't
about
seeing the same so this is a little sticky note that I wrote to my parents on last year there was like a teacher day or
That's really
something.
nice and very, and not so
Very, very
down, so I
like,
don't
yes,
know.
the chef on Facebook.
What is your income?
So I said, Mom and Dad, you are amazing.
What do you know?
And I became a teacher because my dad's a professor, my mom's a teacher.
You know,
My sister's also a teacher.
so that's why.
Thank you for your impact and
And then my hope
me to
is
choose the
that
best job.
I,
That's
throughout my
heritage.
life, continue.
Hey, so now I'm gonna go around and talk about what you would put.
Questions for
I'll go. So mine is the Norwegian heritage, because my dad was actually born in Norway. He was 2 years old when he came to Norway. And my mom's parents celebrations are values. One from, my dad from the way northern Norway, of the Arctic Circle, and my mom's from southern Norway. So that's always been a big part of our life, Sons of Norway and other traditional foods and stuff. And after my first year teaching, I went with, there's about 20 of us who went to Norway.
And then I guess there's one extra, like what's in the book with that?
Like the house where my dad lived, and for 2 years, and went to where my mom's relatives still are, and so that's really.
No, okay, you can
It's in religion in college. I just wanted it, my dad spoke and my mom spoke, and I wanted to just be able to understand a little bit, and I just loved my teacher so much, so I had 20 credits or something. But then actually, my dad talked, they all talked a different dialect than I did. And my mom talked a really old dialect. She said she went back to Norway when she was about 20. And the old people laughed at her because she was a young lady talking like an old woman. So, and my grandma, the grandma that I knew, she came from Norway, so she had that dialect.
I feel like I can't right now.
That's okay.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So it's hard to decide which part of my family to talk about because there's a lot of history in all of my family, and I'm really into genealogy. I haven't actually got onto it, but just within family genealogy. But I'm going to talk about my grandfather's, my dad's side, who came from Croatia. My grandfather had his 10th birthday on Ellis Island and his first baby with Kennedy Bar. And so I interviewed him. My great aunt, who was also born there, just passed away last August. And she was 106 when she passed away. So lots of longevity on that side of the family. And it's interesting, they've still got a newspaper from Verbir, Croatia, that was in Croatian. And she spoke fluent, even though she was like 6 when she came here. So someday I would like to go back. We do the traditional foods, and Thanksgiving was just not the same without conies this year. But my aunt makes them now, but Croatian macaroni and cheese and a pound of homemade egg noodles. But yeah, so that's a lot of my heritage. But my grandmother probably shaped me more than anyone. That was my mom's side and my mom. And their families have been in the United States for a long time, but not to the point of
I felt sorry for Dad.
So powerful. You don't realize how powerful. We don't
Okay, so my heritage is on my dad's side. His mom was Norwegian, and she spoke Norwegian until she went to school. So she went to school as a non-English speaking student, which ties into more of my story in a minute. And then my mom, her dad, his family came from Norway, so we're a relatively new country. My great-grandparents were immigrants, and they were all farmers, so salt of the earth people always. The land is very important to us. And my dad was a huge influence in my life. My dad did not finish school. He didn't even finish 8th grade. He was born in the Depression, and then during the Depression, they moved many, many, many places. And he disliked being the oldest and what he always classified as the dumbest kid in school. So he did not finish 8th grade, and he started working on the farm. But each of his children, he told us that we would go to college because he believed that your education and what you knew could never be taken away from you. Because of being someone who grew up in the Depression, he knew about losing your money in the banking or having your land taken away from you, having your equipment sold out from underneath you. And he believed that what you knew was powerful and could never be taken away. So 3 of his children graduated from college.
How many kids?
There are 4 of us. Yeah, and 3 of us graduated, and all of his grandkids. So, well, one hasn't, but the rest of them have all gone to college and all got.
And he's still alive?
No, my dad passed away 10 years ago. But yeah, that influence was huge. And also the idea that my grandmother went to school not speaking English. You know, that impact on education.
My greatest memory is that my grandmother.
Okay, well, so my job I feel like I'm pretty emotional.
Oh, it's okay.
So like, it's not even taking question about it.
Oh, that's what I got. So yeah, my grandparents were, and I'm so.
I probably can't. In a few months. No, on my mom's side, my grandparents, I feel like we're really had an impact he talked about just like the same thing, like my grandpa was a really hard worker, depression, like saved everything, and like just like things, pennies, and just different things where it was like, oh, you might need this later, and different things, you know, and
oh yeah,
and just I wanted to help people, and then my grandma got Alzheimer's when she was pretty young, and so that was just really impactful when I was younger. Seeing that. Yeah, how much that affects your family, how stressful that is and stuff. So, I don't know. I can't even put it together, but that's in my head right now.
I think that this one tells me, like, for our kids and our students, like, how important their heritage is and connection to their heritage, but also, like, things that we are doing for our children. Those are the things that are going to impact them when they're older. They might be having conversations like this when they're older. So I think about that a lot. You know, it's not going to shape them. So, okay, I'm going to look at the question here and make sure that we
Heritage is important to talk about their kids because a lot of kids don't even know who their great-grandparents are.
And that'll be lost.
I think that we're lost when we don't have ties. When we don't have ties to connect us to other people, that's how we become lost.
That I think about, I've been reading articles about some of the early missionaries to Africa and since birth that were in Native American and how they were trying to rip stuff from them and they took those things like so that like, you know, you have to do this to teach them that it was bad. How would that shape someone? You know, when it's shaped, yeah, right. You have to be ashamed of your culture and your language.
Of who you are.
Yeah, and your parents. And I've seen that with most of this. And you have to reconcile that. Like, these are some things that my parents are bad, but I still love them. But when you're being told, like, your culture is bad and your language is bad, and you aren't bad, you know, how do you reconcile that? The question for this was, who's a special mentor of yours and what is a memory that you have with that mentor? So, does anyone want to answer that one? Or should we move on to the next one?
Well, I'll answer that. You know, my dad was a self-taught musician. He played accordion, and during my growing up, every little community had a community center where they would, it was nothing fancy. It was probably an old schoolhouse, rural schoolhouse, and they'd get together. And my dad and the neighboring farmers ranchers, they had a little band, and they would play for all the dances in these little community centers, and we would go to other ones. And then as each of us learned to play an instrument, we joined that band, and we played in that band, and we played Norwegian polkas and schottisches, and so we learned how to do all of those dances. So it was a huge impact in my life. And as a teenager, I hated it.
Oh, really?
I hated it. Yeah, but the rest of my friends were out having fun, and where was I? Playing polkas and schottisches with all the old people. But I look back. I look back, and I wish I would have enjoyed it more. I feel bad that I felt that resentment at something that really was super special.
I have one memory with my dad, because like everything we did, every moment he was teaching me something. And he would teach me something, and then he was going to ask me about that. And sure enough, that night he would ask me about it. So I remember one time we were hiking, and there was a little garden snake, I think, and I picked it up, and was looking at it, and then I put it down in my hands, and it was like gross. And I was like, what is that smell? He was like, well, that's your pheromone, right? It's not to mate. And I was like, ew, that's really gross. And he said something like, you wouldn't think that if you were a snake. And that like was like, oh, your perspective's true, So that moment was just kind of a picture of like a microcosm of how he was, how he is. And he's like doing with my kids now, like that. Every single, like the world is your oyster, and every single moment we're learning something. So that's my dad. Okay, are we ready for hurdle? Okay, so for the hurdle, it's like something you're facing or have overcome that made you stronger. And this one I might cry, I'll try not to. So when I was... all my emotions from all my pregnancies have just added together, and I'm just always crying. So this is, when I was 11 and 12, I got thyroid cancer. And it was a really long ordeal. And I have 4 scars total, so this one was my most recent, but they cut me open from here to here, and they took out my thyroid and 64 lymph nodes, and I couldn't even sit up for like many weeks, and I was super sick, and I had to have treatment. So I wrote this book. We did nose screening, and we found it and everything, and I got top 100 in the nation with my book. I didn't know that, but this is a picture of the cover. So that's fun to look at and look at my writing when I was in 6th grade and share with my kids. And then this was my most recent surgery because I had a tumor. And so it's just something that I had to deal with like my whole life. So I don't have I feel like that's what you were doing. It's just been I'm tired of it. But I think that it's really huge because after that happened, so I was in 6th grade. And then I decided to join wrestling. And I became the first wrestling team at our school. My friend and I started the team, the girls wrestling team. And then after 2 years, well, no, my senior year I was team captain. I had 10 girls. We had a full team by that time. So that's a picture of me wrestling. I guess this is from my yearbook. And a little thing I said then. So this event, like this process, really caused me to want to make something of my life, I guess, and it still does. And like I was spared. My brother actually, I should have said that as my brother died when he was 4 months old with spinal meningitis. So when I got cancer, my parents were like lunatics because they thought I was going to die too. So, and I don't think I understood the weight of it. Now. Like back then I was 12 and I was like, hey, this is fine. Like, it's not a big deal. And now I realize how much I hate it. So now like every opportunity I just jump on it because I want to make something of my life.
I think our family hurdle would be having 2 houses. Because we have a house in Eagle and a house in Baker, and so it's just kind of the way it's been for 12 years, I think. But, you know, it's kind of difficult. Be here all week and then go there and try to keep everything going. You know, things you think are here are there. And, you know, there's things I don't think that Brett can say because he's there and we're here. And I think I've got it better off than he does. You know, it's harder for him because we're all gone during the weekend. So that's just kind of something we have to deal with. Do everything. Summers we get to be able to go there and stuff. It's just hard.
My first pregnancy had a lot of issues that kind of kept coming up, and everything turned out good, and I had a healthy little boy, but yeah, I just kind of had appendix out, emergency surgery for that, like a month later, and then I got the baby at the end and bed rest, and so it was just kind of a lot that, and then we moved right after we decided to come back here, and so there's a lot that kind of happened in that.
I've been a long time at this, way longer than you. And I think my biggest hurdle was my mom being sick. Because she got sick when I was 10. And was sick basically for 16 years before she passed away. And so, I mean, she had good times and bad times and stuff, but it really has shaped who I am as a person. Because with her being ill, we didn't have much money and couldn't do a lot of stuff because Dad was always working and Mom couldn't because she was sick. So I think that's been my biggest struggle. And now, you know, with raising kids, not being able to call my mom and say, hey, this happened, what do I do? Or, hey, did you ever feel this way when this happened? You know, I don't have that. She's not going to do that to me. And I can call my dad and say, oh no. Or, you know, even just like with holidays. You know, if my mom were still alive, she'd be like, oh, come, or Hazel, come there. And now that she's gone, I haven't seen my dad here in Baker for 2 years.
How old were your kids? Or were they alive?
I was pregnant with one. So my stepmom is their grandma, and that's great. But there's not that connection of, hey, I want to go see my kids. It's, oh, well, my kids are in Missoula. So it's difficult and it's still a hurdle. And, yeah, it's just hard to lose people you love.
Happiness. What is something
So, my dad had grand mal epilepsy during a time when you didn't ever talk about that. Well, sure, because you think about it, I mean, they didn't know a lot about it. And, you know, there was a time that people thought that, you know, they were possessed or different things. So that level of secrecy deeply colored who I am. I'm an extremely, I think, very quiet, very shy, and extremely private because, you know, there was that level of hotel. And there's times when I was growing up that it wasn't very well controlled. So, you know, witnessing that as a child sometimes was pretty frightening. And one time he was driving a tractor and he had a big seizure and he smashed his face. And then just, you know, and just always, oh yeah, and always knowing, you know, how long has he been gone? Or just that burden as a child to make sure that one of us was always kind of with him. And how long has he been gone? You know, if we were left at home, did we make sure that we knew when he went and when he came back? So it colored lots of things like that. And it wasn't ever talked about. You know, it was kept very much a secret. Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't it?
My husband's best friend died from a seizure when he had epilepsy. He was in the bathroom and they couldn't see. He was like against the door and they wanted the door open. He was like 40.
It's not going to be super.
And it was always just dead sick. I mean, that's what we were told, dead sick. And just that, you know, time, you know, that would have been in the 60s. And think about how much medicine has progressed since then.
There's a closer airport.
And they're seeking answers.
And it's just two good places to live.
Hurdle, what is a hurdle you faced?
Okay,
So I think we did that one. Okay, so the next one is hope. So this one was hard for me to like put into pictures and into words too. But my hope is for diversity. So that's what I'm trying to depict here. And how focusing on diversity gives us all the pieces to the puzzle. And so I also put this little Venus for all thing because for me, this is about teaching in Montana that having this being part of the and that's allowed me to learn more about diversity and how to like provide an equitable education for all students. That's probably my hope is that I can do that for students, and it doesn't matter
This or this or this.
how my
Older sisters. Still calls my mom. Mom, I blew a tire, you know. Call your husband. Why do you call me?
And I have this picture. This is when I was in college. We went to Heritage meals for like thousands of workers that were there that were like cleaning up. It was right after the hurricane happened. And so we made this little banner, and we had like a huge tent, and we had tons of people come in and we fed them. I just got to go and see from all over the world. The workers that came in, one from Colombia and another from Nigeria, and they didn't speak English, and just getting to talk with them, like not talk with them. We used pictures, on napkins because we couldn't communicate. And so that was like a really impactful thing that we could communicate in the languages and barrier, culture in the barrier, and equities and diversities. And then this is a picture that just came out recently, and it's all the state teachers right there. And so my picture's right there. But I really saw a lot of equity in our faces and diversity. Because there's all different races and all different backgrounds. And there's also teachers representing like it's called Samoa. And then there's 57. So
Because you have
Puerto
US
Rico,
Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands, yeah. So there must be 7.
The territories.
Yeah.
Yeah, the territories.
So I'm just excited to be in their presence and learn about diversity and how their cultures are different there and how their schools are different and how their students are different. So I'm excited about that. And then I put this little quote too that I saw on Facebook that I liked, and it says, "You will never look into the eyes of someone without his knowledge always behind." And I think that's my goal. So that's my hope, that I can impact education and students in that way. And that I can look at them with equity and teach them individually and with equity. Anyway, that's my hope. And so to give you, maybe we're supposed to do half of this first.
Oh, that's okay, we can do both.
Yeah. What do you hope to do with your life? Mary Oliver pondered in a poem line. Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? What ways do you hope to positively contribute to society? What issues do you hope to solve? How do you hope to spend your days? Simply, what do you hope most for? Perhaps you can think of this as considering what problems or changes you want to be a part of.
So Inspire is a song that's called Connected. And when I picked it, I just picked it because there's things to teach in there for different things. But since we started working at this project, there's lines in there that say, I am you, you are me. And my hope is that I can help in some tiny way help people understand that we're far more alike. And there's far more good and there's far more wonderful than there is not good, and that we're different. That's my big hope. That maybe I can put into paper. And hopefully leave the world a little better than when I leave than when I found it.
And I think if we're all teaching them similar ideas to that, then we can all make a really impact.
think that's it. I think we just hope that we can make an impact in the people we come in contact with somehow. And I think just sharing a smile to people. Sometimes I don't do that very well. I hope for me, it's I hope that I can help kids, elementary specifically, to understand that music is a good thing and not something that's bad. Or that they don't want to take that.
Now go and
on their own.
read these
It's something that can be lifelong. And I hope I can.
Well, then.
Starve my kids every once in a while. I feel like one of those things, trying to raise kind kids and then into the classroom too. Just, I mean, the tone, like I always talk to kids about their tone of voice when they say things, and really trying to like, just think about how you're saying it too, and I think that's, nice way to listen to the tone you use. It's just really, just really hoping to raise kind, thoughtful kids and bring that into the classroom too.
I'll do You like that? I've got lots of them. And I charge my family for the book because it's of course, it's just an art. Or make it look like happiness.
Yeah, let's make sure we what is the current goal that you have and what would you hope would be the benefit of accomplishing? Okay, so last one is happiness. And this was the one that we traveled. That was part of the goal. Because I was gonna put like, I think that part of the question, what makes you lose? I don't know what so I put basically. My friends, my fish tank, and I traveled that vehicle, and then my classroom, and this was when Elsa was 15. She's at the big ceremony, and that was a photo shoot they did, and that's just a month of my friend gave me. And these are pictures of students at ISEF, which is the International Science Fair. And so those are just really special memories because they did something they never thought they would, you know, and got to be on the line stage and on against like amazing other student scientists, you know, from all over the world, just to get there for Baker and experience that. So that was my happiness. That's all.
Just like moving back. Terrible. My sister, nobody can say it. It's my husband's parents have both passed away, so it's nice to kind of be so close.
Most of the time make me happy. Do you walk in to pick up your son? Like, that just makes me heart happy. And music. Bad day, I go put
my family, you know, doing things with my family, I like that.
I hope you live a really long life and I'm still around.
Having adult children and seeing them grow into people that I wonder how did that happen? My oldest son Chandler, when he was in college, if he would be at the convenience store and there was a homeless person, he would always buy them something to eat because he said I could always hear my dad's voice saying, Chandler, go buy that man a hot dog. Go do something kind for somebody. And I shared this with Linda a couple months ago, and we went to visit Spencer. We'd never been to his parent weekend at college, so we went to visit the parents' weekend. It was raining. And as we're walking, you know, the rain in the gutter was whatever. And he would stop and he would put out his hand to help me across the rain in the gutter. And to see them grow into young men with that kind of character. just brings me great happiness.
Okay, I'm getting up.
Yeah, just, yeah.
Yeah. But some of the stuff that's come up in that.
All right, so there's a couple of times.
Oh, we have 10 minutes.
Okay, so there's one other question I want to ask. So this one says how you go about nourishing your happiness.
Oh, that is a good question.
And then the last conclusion here, if you could give everyone.
Or and all the time, like sending my daughter out check, right? Come home, the street lights come on, like. Right.
Oh, feeling love. That's good. I think that's different. Like love for other
Your
people.
mom out the back door.
Right?
I think I would give them self-acceptance. Self-acceptance, this is who you are, and that's more than enough.
So I think we should think about how we can do this for our students. Like how can we help them to accept themselves and to feel loved, to have
Like Europe, you know, North American.
So we need to think about two things now. One thing is, if we were to do this with our students, if we're gonna do this with some of our students, I think that we're gonna do like an application process, and only 20 students will do it. Like a special program, and it'll be an easy application.
I love the application that's included in the materials. I love that application, I think there's even a rubric for it. I think it's wonderful, yeah.
So, we can think about what we can, but I also want to think about what do we, if we are able to get through other schools.
Have you heard of Montana territory?
Maybe it'll be in future years, hopefully. But if we were doing it with 20 students from those populations, what do you think their answers would be? I was able to talk to a teacher for a couple of weeks ago about some science stuff, but I was just kind of picking his brain on what was going on in his school and with his student population, and it is really, really bad. Like our reservation schools in Montana have huge hurdles and barriers, and I think it's silly that we are so concerned about like standardized test scores when we should be concerned about like their survival. Like they need to survive. Actually, they're maybe this right now and maybe not. He has 2 suicides in high school, and the population is smaller than ours. And he gave me a whole bunch of other crazy things.
So what do they do when they stay there?
Yeah, and unemployment rates. And you'll hear from national statistics that it's like 20%, I don't remember, I looked at all the data, but it's actually like 80%, 60 to 80 probably are unemployed.
And if you want to understand more things, in the paper last week, or at some point, there was about the study that they did about discipline inequality on reservation schools, like just the rate of in-school and out-of-school suspensions, and some of the stories on what they get out-of-school suspensions for, craziness, insanity. We do not need to be sending them to out-of-school suspension for being that's not going to solve any problems. And then all you do is well, yes, and then suddenly they don't want to be in school. And that's just a huge hurdle in them being able to reach their and the support system. They don't have parents who the family structure is crumbling, broken. Sometimes they're in lame deer with family members, sometimes they're in brownie with family members.
And they're expected to be successful in school with all of that. Oh my gosh, I couldn't be successful in life with that.
Well, they don't know. They don't
That's
know where they're going to be.
Right.
They don't know who they're going to come home. When they go home, is there going to be a home? Who's going to be there? Is anybody going to be there? Did somebody get arrested?
And I think that there are some students here at Baker that are also living with us. Everybody else is but it's way worse. So what do you guys think about what they might put in some of these boxes? Students that are living with those.
Like I said, that's kind of like my favorite.
I think that we're going to see stories about drug, alcohol, broken families, incarceration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the indigenous women, some of that.
And I would hope that a student like that would say, hey, what can I do? Like, how can I be an advocate? What can I do to show a vision? But I don't think that they even have that much support to be able to step outside of themselves and say they can make a difference, you know? Which a student would do here. Like a student would have teachers who would help their parents to make that happen.
And I think maybe in their hope, we might see where they participate in walks, you know, like where there's Indigenous women, missing Indigenous women walks, and there's like Northern Cheyenne, they have that, what's it, 100-mile run that they do, that's about the Fort Robinson breakout and some of those things. So like through participating in those events, that might have them feel hopeless.
Or maybe hoping to graduate from high school or
Oh,
something
absolutely.
like that.
It was somehow particularly
It was a volunteer project that she went on, and they were building fence inner city.
And that would be a hurdle, and even for some of them, they
Connected, yeah.
and they want to go to college, but the hurdles.
Right. So she had skills that no one else had, for sure.
And I think in happiness, you would see family, heritage, participating in powwows, participating in drumming, sports.
Are you sports would probably be that would probably move on most popular.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Because here, within sports, that's success.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's cross country or basketball, those would be probably the two. Not football.
So what about our students here? Are you guys thinking about doing something like this to students? What do you think that would be like?
I think in a general classroom, it might be tough to get kids to open up. I think if we were doing it where they were student ambassadors and they were kids who had self-acceptance to start with, that they would be more likely to open up. That's hard.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry.
It's hard for when I go around my classroom and I ask for some kids, I ask them what their favorite Easter candy is. And some kids can't even tell me because it's so hard for them to share it with them.
Wow.
They're afraid of what other people are going to say.
Oh, yeah. So small groups is probably good. And I think that, I don't know this for sure, but I think younger kids might have trouble getting out of here and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like you really have to, and a lot of them have people here too. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to really depend on parents to
I'm not sure.
bring something or something.
Or you could just like,
I don't think it matters.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Even if you
Somebody that,
even if you refined it down and didn't have it be so open-ended, like if you did a specific, it has to, a mentor, something that's difficult for you, something that makes you happy.
Well, my grandma had
What do you want? Yeah. So it's not so deep and hugely broad. It's so broad, it's a circle.
I was really, I didn't really want to do it. I was hoping that more people would come to the meeting, so I didn't have to do it. But then once I started doing it, I was like, this is really fun. Like, I was like, I had questions, and I was making it, and I got really confused about what direction everything was, because there's a little, like, stencil, and I had to print them a couple times, because I kept messing up. But it was really fun, like, to reflect on it, and stuff.
All right, we're about at the end of our time. So the renewal units,
absorbent that you can't afford it.
are on that desk right there, so make sure you grab it on your way out. If you have any feedback at all that you think would make this better for Baker and what we plan to do with it, please email me or Linda, and we'd be happy to have your thoughts. Thank you guys.
Thank you.